what's my take on free-to-play players as a whole? I think they are wholesome. I think free-to-play players are wholesome and they are necessary for the ecosystem so that the whales can destroy them in PvP. I mean, if there's PvP, right? Do you think they should have any say about the state of the game, or should they keep shut because they don't contribute anything to the game from a certain content creator? Oh, drama! Drama! What's your take on free-to-play players as a whole? Do you think they should have any say about the state of the game, or should they keep shut cause they don't contribute anything to the game from a certain content creator? I feel like it's important to tackle each issue individually, and it's important to tackle what is being said rather than going for personal attacks, right? It depends on what is being said rather than who is saying it. Because for me as a human being on the internet for the longest time ever, internet is surrounded with kids, alright? Internet is surrounded with kids. So a lot of these kids, when you say something that they disagree with, they are not going to say, they are going to go for personal attacks. They're going to say, oh, you're ugly. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, in the past you did this. Like, I feel like it's not really like proper criticism, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, it depends on what was being said, alright, whether it's the discussion is about power creep, or the discussion is about anything, right? It's about including more male characters, or including dudes, or including I don't know, including more 4 stars for some games, right? Including more free-to-play options, skins are too expensive. I mean, there needs to be a lot of I think, yeah, it happens a lot, right? It happens a lot. I noticed that whenever people say things about certain things, there's always this argument that go for personal attacks rather than talking about the issue as a whole. So it's really hard to discuss as a whole. I think because people are just so consumed or so invested in their product as a whole. It doesn't matter if it's a gacha game, it doesn't matter if it's an AirPods, it doesn't matter if it's an iPhone that they love, they are going to love it. It doesn't matter if it's a Sony PlayStation 5, it can come down to a Starbucks coffee. If they like it, they like it, right? They are just going to defend it to death. But I think like sometimes it's important to just let go of the bias and try to look at criticisms and feedback, right? I think it's important. So I don't think like free to play or pay to win affects the status of what the person is not important, right? If I say this game has power creep, right? Let's talk about, does this game has power creep, right? If I say that this game has too little male characters, I think we should add more dudes, right? Why does me being free to play, me being pay to win, me being trans, me being black, what does that has anything to do with what I just said, right? I said, okay, we need more dudes. I think this game is lacking in dudes. Let's put more dudes in Wuthering Wave. So what does my identity, or me being a girl, me being a guy, me being Asian, what does it have anything to do with anything? It doesn't, right? So yeah, free to play is like a status. I don't think it matters. It really doesn't matter. Like, I think what's important is what's being said, right? Now that being said though, I think certain things free-to-play do have a better perspective of compared to whales, right? And certain things whales do have a better perspective of compared to free-to-play. I think it's better to, ideally it's fair to take both sides, right? I think that's just how it is. That Hoyo Shield, his take is just BS. I don't think anyone's take is BS. You gotta like... See, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is like a personal attack. You know, it's like a personal attack, but I don't think we should go for personal attack, but we should just talk about what is being said or what the statement is. When you call someone, oh, he's a Hoyo Shield, oh, he's an Apple Shield, oh, he's a Sony Shield, oh, he's a this shield, that shield, it's just personal attacks again. You see, this is why we cannot have conversations like this, because it's like everybody goes for personal attacks, right? So we try to talk about the issue rather than what that person is. He can be anything shield, he can be a black trans woman, I don't care. But I think it's talking about the issue as a whole. Again, like sometimes perspective is, everyone have different perspective, but I do think that at the end of the day, the majority is the majority. I think that's just how it is. If you're woke as heck, you're woke as heck, you know? Okay. Let me see what are we talking about, right? So you give a better context right here. What was the issue that was being discussed, right? I'm a light spender. Also chat, it was from Gacha Smack. Okay, during the whole power creep drama, for me, any constructive criticism is welcome, be it free to play or pay to win. Oh, power creep, of course there's power creep in the game, right? There's just no argument. Power creep exists. I think it just depends on whether you like power creep or not. And I think the whole argument to try to convince someone that feels a certain way is not going to be I'm a GuitarRock shield, will defend GuitarRock a bit against cactongers. Now the thing about content creators, I cannot give a fair criticism because I cannot really say certain things based on certain how do I say this? Because some content creators might be sponsored. So if they are sponsored, like you see, I don't want to say this, right? Because when I say this, I might cause drama with someone else, and I don't want to do that. But I think like sometimes people are just more toned down in certain things. If they are sponsored or they have like the privilege to have like, for example, creator access or early access or whatever, so they try to like tone down their words or try to defend the company more. And can you blame them though? Because it's their job, right? I feel like at the end of the day, you know, like this kind of things is very complicated, right? When it comes to like people's biases, everyone is going to have their bias, whether you like it or not. But yeah, I feel like it's hard to say whether or not they are actually being honest and being truthful about certain things, because most people probably have their own like hidden agenda that you probably can't tell. You can minimize power creep by getting powerful characters. I guess you can. Right? When Blue Archive releases an unusable character in meta game, it's queued out so people go hard into the paint. Ooh. Like a bias? Yeah, I think like a bias, right? I think everybody has bias, right? So, which is why you can never know the true intention of why they do certain things, but I think it's better to just discuss the issue as a whole, right? You have to become the power creep. Problem solved. Yeah, I think power creep in gacha game is always going to be there because you know, they want to sell the characters, they want to make more money. I guess just speak with your wallet. If you don't like it, just move on. If you don't mind it, just stay, right? If you think the game is, I think for most people, do they care about power creep? I don't think so. I actually think people that care about power creep is the minority, right? If you care about power creep, I'm not saying that your opinion is invalid if you care about power creep, but I think the number speaks volume. When you see like if the game's still earning a lot of money and they have power creep after power creep after power creep, yeah, you look at Epic 7, right? Power creep after power creep after power creep, revenue still around the same. So that means that people don't mind it. And if people don't mind it, you can never convince someone to mind it, because it's like everyone is going to have their own predisposition in terms of bias, right? If you are not okay with that, you know, just either go free to play or don't worry about it too much, right? I noticed that happen with a lot of gacha games. I think like it's hard to find like a game that doesn't have power creep. Like, okay, what is the best game out there, gacha game, that you guys think that has the least power creep? What is the what do you guys think is the gacha, like based on all the gacha games that you guys play, right? What gacha games do you guys think have the least power creep, right? I think power creep exists. I think some people might say Genshin, which maybe is true, right? But I'm trying to think like the least power creep. Blue Archive? Brown Dust 2? Power creep is inevitable? You rather just quit at that point? Yeah, but most people wouldn't want to quit it. And also like power creep only affects the highest end players, because they are like the hardcore players, right? Healthy power creep is essential over time. Arc Knights, Wizardel is the embodiment of power creep. I'm not sure about Arc Knights. How is Arc Knights, right? Because back when I played it, the 3-star and 4-stars are very strong. But yeah, maybe things have changed a little bit. Arc Knights, as long as you can stall, even 3-star can clear it. But can't you say the same for Hong? Okay, maybe you can't say the same for Honkai Star Rail. Can 4-star clear it? I never really try. I never really try to use like a 4-star only team. Can 4-star only team clear MOC 12? I don't know. I think like when you say like can, I don't really like it when somebody use that argument that when somebody can do it, everybody should be able to do it, because I think that's like a very bad argument, right? It is a very bad argument, because like I think it has to like fit in the majority or minority kind of perspective, right? Power creep is a pretty common thing. People just need to see it through the eyes of the devs or company. It will always exist. They are a business. Well, some games can do it from the perspective of what is that? From the perspective of skins, right? And also I think like power creep is power creep is actually, for me, I'm okay with power creep if there are some balancing going on for the older characters, right? To get buff a little bit here and there. I think that would be nice, right? I think like what Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero can do, for example, so Zenless Zone Zero, we're gonna have like Ellen Joe rerun, right? Like when they rerun certain characters, Ellen Joe and Qingyi, maybe they can buff them a little bit, you know, just a slight buff, slight improvement. So I think it makes sense for the rerun to happen and then just get buff, and then, you know, players are going to pull for them. But maybe because they don't really do it because it's like extra work for them, so why would they do it, right? So it's like maybe not worth it. So that is the problem right there, right? Even free-to-play players clear content with 5-star characters they pull. I'm sure there are some hardcore players that can do it, right? Power creep is the incentive for easy money for the developers. I feel like there's a little bit of both, right? But yeah, it does happen. It definitely does happen.